Instagram. Right, where were we?
We were in my adventure to I'm a Celebrity,
Get Me Out of Here.
Australia.
Yes.
So I flew to South Africa, and the first thing we had to do was we were all weighed first. We had these great big boots put on and these shorts and horrible gear. And then this helicopter arrived, and 5 of us were put into this helicopter. We had a little lesson first, what was going to happen. We were taken up 10,000 feet, and we jumped out of a helicopter. We was tandem. We had somebody with us. But oh my God, here am I in South Africa. I thought I was going to die, Charlie. It was the scariest thing. Oh my God.
I've never jumped out of anything in my life. I can't imagine what that was like.
It was so scary. And I didn't think I was going to do it, because the person that went out before me was, we had Shane Warne. Do you know Shane Warne?
Yes, I know Warner.
Shane was in our group.
Yeah.
But the person that went out before me, he didn't want to didn't want to jump. And I got scared, and the camera was right there. And I thought, oh my God, what am I doing? You know, my kids were probably right. I shouldn't have gone. But then I don't know, I have this inner strength somehow. And I just thought, I can do it. I can do it. The worst part was when the door opened of the helicopter and you looked down, and it looked like you were never, ever going to get to the bottom. And then you just put your feet over the edge of the helicopter, fold your arms in and go. And what was funny was, as I was going through the clouds, I saw this face of somebody. And of course, it was the cameraman who's following me. So he's on another bloody parachute going down, and it was fine. Once it was a bit hard when they put the parachute up. That's quite difficult, because it really jolts you.
Oh, yeah, does that hurt?
It hurts. It's on. I think it's on YouTube, but you can see it really hurts. And you land, and then I met all the celebrities, and then we went straight to do the first trial, where we had our bodies in fish guts and cockroaches and everything, and then eventually. They tell you all about snakes. They tell you that you have to be really careful. They teach you how not to go near the snake, what to do. And eventually you walk through the jungle and you land in your space. And it was just so tough. It really was. I mean, in England, you only do 3 weeks. In Australia at that time, you did 6, and I lasted 4.
Wow, Bonnie, you did amazingly. Is that all they tell you at the beginning? That's all they say. Here's, the only sort of instruction that they give you, and you're basically on your own.
You're basically on your own. Yes. I mean, you have all this stuff in your contract to say various things. You do realize you will only be eating rice and beans. And you know what really irritates me? When so many people see I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, be it UK, wherever it might be, and they say, oh, they don't really just eat beans and rice. Yes, we do. I was really lucky, because I didn't get to eat any of that awful stuff. They have organic rat juice. They have awful stuff. But that's the week I got voted out, and I was really pleased, because I would have had to do that. But honestly, Charlie, the things we had to do, I mean, I used to collect wood. The worst part, where you're only allowed one luxury, and mine was a Versace pillow, I've got to say.
Versace, out of all the things, he chose a Versace pillow.
But he saved me, because the camp bed was so uncomfortable that I could put their rubbish pillow in between, underneath my knees, and my nice pillow. So that was quite good. But we had great fun. And the one thing that I did do that was really scary was we were doing a tug of war race, and we were right high up, 2,000 feet high. And the person opposite me, she had a bad turn. And because of that, my rope went sideways as I was pulling, and I fell over the side 200 feet down, and there were alligators beneath. I was scared. God. I was crying, and I did my neck in, because I was in a safety harness. Sorry, I meant to say I was in a safety harness, but I was swinging, because we were right at the top of this high kind of bridge, and there was a gap in the middle, and I just fell over the side, and I thought I was going to die. And it was at that point I thought, I think I'm being a bit silly here. I think I should stop. And I had it in my mind. But the worst part was we had nothing to do. I learned to play poker with Shane. And most of them were all Australian celebrities.
Yeah.
And
He's an amazing cricketer. If people don't know who he is, he's an amazing, very famous cricketer in Australia.
I think he won. Had something, I don't know, to do with spinning a ball. He was a cricketer that was a brilliant bowler, and whatever spinning the ball means. And he was a great guy. I mean, I know he went out with Liz Hurley.
Liz Hurley, yes.
He was engaged to Liz Hurley, and there'd be bad rumours about him with her. But when we got to know each other very well, you have 12 people in a camp, and you've got nothing to do, no computers, no clocks. We had no idea of the times. And one thing, you're not allowed to have. And one of the things they never tell you is if you're going from trial to trial, they blindfold you through the jungle so you don't see where you're going. So you're disorientated. You're trying to work out time by the sun, and you've got snakes. I mean, I had my head in cockroaches and you name it. But I wouldn't have missed it, honestly, Charlie. It gave me a strength that I have never had in my life before, which is quite dangerous because I think I'd do anything now.
I was going to say, what did you take from it? What did you get out of it? It was finding that inner strength. Yeah,
I did. I got that inner strength. I made the best friend of Jo Beth. Jo Beth she was a presenter on a Saturday kind of variety show. Shane, I talked to all of them, really. We still make amazing friends. But I just think we all learn to listen to people, to talk to people instead of, sometimes it's very easy to do where you can drift your mind and go into another place. But what we did, because we had the time, was to listen. We got the jobs done. We became a team together. We had to wash our own clothes, and half the time they didn't dry properly, and we had to wash up our things and make up. Well, there was nothing much to make with the bed, but cooking. I didn't even know how to light a fire, and oh my gosh, we had the long drop and the short drop. I think you can guess what that was.
Oh, I was gonna say, who digs that? Does somebody dig that?
It was just horrible. It was horrible.
What about showering? Washing your hair? What about showering?
But I had my hair quarantined before I left, so it didn't go too curly.
Yes, I know that you love that. You love your Brazilian, don't you?
But we had no makeup, so I had my eyelashes tinted, which helped a little bit. But we had someone in our team who was a model, and she was quite vain. All we had was a tiny mirror like that. We all had to share this mirror, and she kept taking it because she wanted to. She cheated like hell. Everybody knew it in the end. She, in her trainer, she had cotton and a needle, and she had mascara. She put them in places I can't believe.
Oh my God!
I didn't. I did everything that I should do, and she just. It was in that way. I realised that you could be incredibly cunning. Other thing you don't know is that they take away your smell. So soap smells of nothing. Toothpaste smells of nothing. And showers are cold because you're in the jungle. So you live with cold showers. I kind of learned that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun got to the water, so I could get a warm shower. Our hair was a wreck, honestly. It was just, but you asked me what I learned from it. I learned to be able to tolerate anybody and anything. I learned that I could stretch myself much more than I ever thought, and I could rough it, and I could eat beans and rice. The only thing I wouldn't eat, they brought us down. We won I don't know, 6 points or whatever it was, and for dinner we had ostrich neck, and there was no way on God's earth I was eating ostrich neck. So I took it up there and made a big fuss about it, and so we changed that. But we had fun, Charlie. We played games on each other, and it was an amazing time.
Where do the crew sleep? I always wonder, like, do they rough it like you guys do, or do they suddenly get taken out and put in a hotel when you're not filming?
No, what it is, and that's why they blindfold you, because they don't want you to see where they are. They're really close, like Ant and Dec in the English version isn't far away. They stay in hotels, but they're all in their own kind of areas. But they're what are they called? They're not caravans, but they're those kind of
trailers.
Yes. Yeah, so they all stay in those places. They're catered for, and the food's incredible. But we thought when you're on camera 24/7, but we thought that we couldn't be heard all the time, and of course you can. And we worked it out. We're such sneaks, really. We worked it out with two things we did. We thought if we went under the water, because there was like a little waterfall that we could go to, they couldn't hear us talk, but of course they have flipping speakers in the bushes, on the rocks.
Really?
Yeah, they got us every time. And in fact, Shane was talking about Liz Hurley, and he was saying how bad he felt because in the news it said that he took the engagement ring back, but he said it was nothing like that, Bonnie. She didn't want it. I didn't know what to do with it, and I've got kids, and in the end it was a different story. That was in the papers the next day because the little sneaks had got everything we talked about privately, and I did too. I talked one day about Nigel and I because somebody said what happened, and I said I don't know really. It was just a build up of layer upon layer, and I said and I never felt I was really me when I was married to Nigel, although we had 31 years. I never felt that I was me, Bonnie Lythgoe. I thought I lived in his shadow, and I said, and I needed to come out of that shadow. Of course, I said this, didn't I? And it was in the papers the next day. And when I came out of the jungle, Nigel was really upset with me because I'd said this. Because, of course, you know, Charlie, you really forget that there's cameras.
I bet.
You do. I mean, we got so much gunge on us a couple of times that it says in the contract they must never film you naked or anything like that. But Joe, Beth and I, one day we got covered in flies and, oh God, you name it, maggots. And we did go in the shower together and we washed ourselves because I could wash her back, she could wash my back. And I've got to say, the cameras are really decent. And I thought, oh my God, if this gets into any paper, not that we were doing anything naughty or anything like that, we weren't, but we were trying to help.
Could you imagine?
We had it in our hair, everywhere. So, and they were really good about those kind of things. They didn't go anywhere near that. But other things, yes, we were. And the other thing Joe, Beth and I did, oh my God. So they're not allowed to talk to you. The people that work in the jungle and the producers and associate producers that take you on your trials, they're not allowed to talk to you at all. Really? So we worked out, but you have to have your mics changed and your batteries changed and everything. Yeah. So Joe, Beth and I worked out that if she went out and took her time getting her battery done, I could sneak out as well. And they had this lovely fruit on the floor, on the ground, which were a little bit like Chinese gooseberries, a bit like grapes, but had a shell around. Oh, so nice. She said, I'll keep him talking. You stuff your pockets with all this fruit and we take it into the camp. So, of course, this is what we did. And, of course, forgetting the bloody cameras are watching, sorry, excuse my language, watching us moving around, watching me, seeing me put them in. So, anyway, we get back into the camp. We've got all this fruit. We share it amongst everybody. And, of course, everybody, they know what we're doing. Yeah. But I ate mine. I ate about 5 or 6. Well, the next day I had a really upset tummy, and and the producer said, "We know what you were doing, Bonnie. We know you were eating that." And he said, "But you've got to be really careful because we've got chimpanzees and monkeys around there, and they have a little bite on it and a little chew on it." He said, "You may have picked up one of the ones that one of the monkeys had." So that put me off. Oh no! I don't think it was true, but that put me off. I didn't steal anything. But we all did try, honestly, Charlie. We tried to try. I had to do this one at it's Elephant Park, and we had to go through this elephant dung and do a Scrabble thing. Oh! So I know it was disgusting. And I pretended I wanted to go to the toilet and the bathroom. The bathroom was beautiful. So I stuffed all the soaps in my top, and I had these great big bosoms when I came out. And then we did it. And of course, I stunk again. So I then went back and got some more stuff. And of course I walked out and they spotted it straight away. They knew, so we were always trying. Well, that must make it so much fun though, you know? You've got to like do something. It does, Charlie. And I'm such a prankster. I mean, I was always yeah, oh yeah, I'm terrible. I managed to steal these water pistols, and I absolutely soaked Shane one day and another person in the camp, and just soaked them, and they got me back loads of times. Oh, it was just, they hid all my things. Oh, and there was another thing. Oh my God. I knew that our underwear should be the worst underwear